What up, guys? It's your man Elite. Welcome back to the Elite channel. Well, in case you haven't been following closely what's been going on in the Diddy trial, well, the judge in the Diddy trial today handed the case over to the jury to decide Diddy's fate. And the jury went home at about 5 p.m. and they will return Tuesday morning at about 9 a.m. The interesting thing that happened today, though, is that about 2 hours into the deliberations, there was a couple of notes that the jury passed to the judge. Apparently, there was an issue with one of the jurors. Reading now from the Daily Mail, Sean Diddy Combs' trial was thrown into chaos on Monday after the jury handed the judge a note just 1 hour after starting their deliberations. Around 5 p.m., Judge Aaron Subramanian returned to the bench and said there are 2 letters from the jury. The first was a question related to the racketeering charges, specifically on whether one can be found guilty of distribution if another person requests they give them drugs. The other note informed the court they planned to end at 5 o'clock p.m. Diddy's legal team appeared to look tense as they huddled together after the jury left for the day, while the prosecutors seemed more relaxed and were seen smiling. The first note, which came soon after Diddy's fate was placed in the jury's hands, read, "We have a juror, number 25. We are concerned cannot follow your Honor's instructions. May you please intervene." To me, that first note sounds like it might be good for Diddy, because there's some people in that jury room who are holding the other jurors accountable, it sounds like to me. And this man was probably trying to take shortcuts or trying to interpret the evidence in some kind of different way, which didn't really make sense, and trying to sway other people. So that sounds good for Diddy for me. I think he'll probably get a fair trial. And in my opinion, I don't think they can convict him on much. Being a freak, a nasty freak, is not illegal. So, But what I will say is that Diddy may be all right in the criminal trials, but he has a lot of civil suits that are coming down. And civil suits are a whole different ball game. The standard of guilt is much lower. And he stands to lose a whole lot of money in those civil suits. A lot of people are going to be coming at him for some money. So we'll see what happens.
What exactly happened? This all started when the foreperson sent a note to the judge saying, hey, we have a problem.
Yeah. Well, this happened around 1:30 Eastern time, I should say, where the judge did read aloud this particular note. And it was in part from the foreperson, which we know to be juror number 5. But in terms of juror number 5's concern, I guess it was a concern that all of them had.
And I apologize for the audio right here, guys. It just drops out for a few seconds.
In terms of, I guess, we don't really know, because that's really kind of the basis of what the entire note was. But what ended up happening is there were kind of discussions on both sides. From both the court kind of gave his proposed instructions, which were initially to be like, okay, can you please explain the nature of the concern? Is it the lack of understanding? Is it unwillingness to follow instructions? The judge just kind of offered that up as a potential idea. And then the government kind of had their proposal. The defense had their proposal. And it seemed like the defense was kind of adamant on their proposal, and they couldn't even come to a decision on that. But what the judge ended up saying is he decided kind of a happy medium between both parties, where he said the proposed instruction was, I received your note. I remind every juror of their duty to deliberate and their obligation to follow my instruction on the law. With that instruction in mind, please continue deliberating. And so the judge wanted to use this particular message mainly because it was pretty neutral. It wasn't kind of pointing out this particular juror or to kind of take any type of course of action in terms of even potentially, possibly like dismissing it. That was not the case at all. Pretty much this note came back pretty quickly, because first note that we got was that juror number 5 was going to be the foreperson, and then this note comes around 1:30 p.m. So if you think about it in context, they weren't even deliberating for that long for potentially somebody to already kind of not be following the instructions. And so far there hasn't been a note sent. So right now the jury is still continuing their deliberations. Now we're into hour 4 of the deliberation process. So it's getting towards the end of the day a little bit, Anjanette. So we'll see what the jury has to say about coming back around 5 p.m. on whether or not they'll call it an end of the day or whether they'll continue on past 5 p.m. today.
So let me know in the comments what you guys think about these latest developments in the Diddy trial. Do you guys think that the drama that went on is going to help Diddy? Because maybe there are some people on the jury who are trying to make sure that he gets a fair trial? Or do you guys think that this drama is going to hurt in any way? Let me know in the comments. And oh yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, this is your man Elite, and I am out.